out of Matthew 26, where Jesus, now we move to the end of Passion Week. Jesus engages in a form of behavior and language like we have never heard before. He completes the Passover / Lord's Supper meal on Mount Zion, and he comes to Gethsemane. Remember what Gethsemane is. Gethsemane is that mechanical device that's designed to press down on the olives and extract fluid from them. Jesus came to the place of the olive crushing press, and what we read fits the description of what happens to the olives there. Matthew 26, about verse 36. Then Jesus went with the disciples to a place called Gethsemane and said, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." And he took Peter and the two sons of Zebedee and began to be sorrowful and troubled, and said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Whoa, what is going on here? I mean, Jesus is giving voice to emotion and thought that we just haven't heard him express before. And going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground. So far as I can tell, this is the only time Jesus is prone on the ground to pray. Often he's pictured in this very subtle, praying position on a rock. Matthew says he is face down on the ground. "Father, if it's possible, may this cup be taken from me, yet not as I will, but as you will." What in the world is going on? Well, Jesus is every bit human as he is divine. And as he comes to the place of the olive crushing press, he is facing the ultimate moment of challenge. And geographically, he has two options. Option one, go west into the city and face it all. The religious trial, the civil trial, the beatings, the crucifixion, death. That's this direction. Do you remember what's just east of us? Wilderness, the Judean wilderness. 40 minutes walk east, and you are away from it all. David, when his son Absalom was initiating a coup d'etat, left the city of David, went over the saddle, and into the wilderness. There's the model. Jesus is going, here's what I could do. I could go east instead of west. Father, if there is another way to get this done, except I drink this cup of your wrath, let's do it. But not my will, but your will be done. And I don't know that I ever in Jesus' ministry feel the moment of tension that I feel there, where we are at this hinge point between what's best for him, isolating himself from all of this, getting out into the wilderness like David did so that no one can find him, or allowing himself to be arrested, tried, executed. And the difference for us is the difference between eternities, right? And I hope as you sit on this ridge and think about him struggling, you're realizing that he had a choice that he could make here that was in his best interest, that was not in ours. And instead, he made the choice that was not in his best interest, but was in ours. And when he went back, I love this detail. He went back to the disciples and said, "Rise, let's go. Here comes my betrayer." Decision made. But isn't it interesting, he didn't wait for the arresting party to arrive. He did not wait. He says, "Rise, let's go." And they walk into it, right? There's an assertion there, there's a conviction there that says, I'm not going to go that way, I'm committing to what follows. And as we sit here on this ridge, we can be eternally grateful of that choice. It was a legitimate choice. It couldn't have been, Jesus could not simulate the human experience and be my Redeemer. He had to make that choice for me, for you, in this place, and that made all the difference in the way the story went. The story would have traveled very differently had he gone a different direction. And if you feel that here, you will have an appreciation for that Gethsemane story that you had before. So 4 stories. A Bethany story, a Beit Page story, a triumphal entry story, and a Gethsemane story, all stories associated with this ridge that you'll be hearing again in worship shortly, and I hope will have a new sense of animation as you think about them in this place.